I always wanted to visit Las Vegas, the city of lights and entertainment. I had saved up enough money to take a week-long vacation there, and I was looking forward to having some fun and maybe winning some money at the casinos. I booked a cheap hotel online, packed my bags, and boarded a flight to Sin City. I arrived at night, and as soon as I stepped out of the airport, I was greeted by the dazzling sight of neon signs, skyscrapers, and fountains. I hailed a taxi and gave the driver the address of my hotel. He looked at me with a strange expression and said, "Are you sure you want to stay there? That place is haunted." I laughed and told him that I didn't believe in ghosts. He shrugged and drove me to my destination. The hotel was on the outskirts of the city, away from the main attractions. It looked old and run down, but I didn't mind. I just wanted a place to sleep and shower. I checked in at the reception, where a bored-looking clerk handed me a key card and told me my room number. He didn't say anything else, not even a welcome or a smile. I took the elevator to the 5th floor, where my room was located. The hallway was dimly lit and smelled of mold. The carpet was stained and torn, and the walls were peeling. I found my room and opened the door with my key card. The room was small and dirty, with a single bed, a dresser, a TV, and a bathroom. The bed sheets were wrinkled and had cigarette burns on them. The TV was old and had static on the screen. The bathroom was filthy and had cockroaches crawling on the floor. I felt a wave of disgust wash over me, but I decided to make the best of it. I told myself that it was only for a week and that I would spend most of my time outside anyway. I unpacked my bags and put them on the dresser. I took a quick shower, trying to ignore the bugs and the grime. I dried myself with a towel that smelled like mildew and put on some fresh clothes. I lay down on the bed and turned on the TV, hoping to find something interesting to watch. I flipped through the channels, but all I saw were infomercials, religious programs, and old movies. I sighed and turned off the TV. That's when I heard it. A faint whisper in my ear. "Hello?" I opened my eyes and looked around. There was no one in the room but me. I thought I had imagined it, or maybe it was some kind of prank by the hotel staff. I shook my head and closed my eyes again. "Hello." The whisper was louder this time, and closer. It sounded like a woman's voice, soft and sweet. I jumped out of bed and turned on the lights. There was still no one in the room but me. I felt a chill run down my spine. Was I going crazy? Was I going crazy? Was there a hidden speaker somewhere, or was there really a ghost in this hotel? "Who are you?" I asked aloud, hoping for an answer. There was silence for a few seconds. Then, another whisper. "I'm here." I felt a cold breath on my neck. I screamed and ran out of the room. My girlfriend and I had been dating for 2 years, and we decided to celebrate our anniversary with a trip to Las Vegas. We had always wanted to see the city of lights and entertainment, and we thought it would be a romantic and fun getaway. We booked a nice hotel online, packed our bags, and boarded a flight to Sin City. We arrived in the afternoon, and as soon as we stepped out of the airport, we were amazed by the sight of neon signs, skyscrapers, and fountains. We took a taxi and gave the driver the address of our hotel. He smiled and said, "You picked a great place to stay. It's one of the best hotels in town. You'll love it." We thanked him and drove to our destination. The hotel was in the heart of the city, close to the main attractions. It looked elegant and luxurious, with a grand lobby, a sparkling pool, and a casino. We checked in at the reception, where a friendly clerk handed us a key card and told us our room number. He also gave us a complimentary bottle of champagne and wished us a happy anniversary. We took the elevator to the 10th floor, where our room was located. The hallway was bright and clean, with a plush carpet and paintings on the walls. We found our room and opened the door with our key card. The room was spacious and beautiful, with a king-sized bed, a sofa, a TV, and a balcony. The bed sheets were silky and had rose petals on them. The TV was large and had cable channels. The balcony had a stunning view of the city. We were delighted with our room and hugged each other. We unpacked our bags and put them in the closet. We popped open the champagne and toasted to our love. We kissed and cuddled on the sofa, watching TV. We decided to order some room service and have a cozy night in. We called the reception and asked for some pizza and salad. They said they would deliver it in 15 minutes. We waited for our food, chatting and laughing. We were having a great time. That's when we heard it. A loud bang on the door. We looked at each other, puzzled. Who could it be? We weren't expecting anyone. We got up from the sofa and walked to the door. We looked through the peephole. There was no one there. We shrugged and thought it was maybe some kids playing a prank. We went back to the sofa and resumed our conversation. A few minutes later, another bang on the door. This time louder and more violent. We got up again and walked to the door. We looked through the peephole. There was still no one there. We were getting annoyed and scared. Who was doing this and why? We decided to call the reception and complain about the noise. We picked up the phone and dialed the number. There was no dial tone. The phone was dead. We felt a surge of panic. What was going on? Was this some kind of joke? We tried to calm ourselves down and rationalize the situation. Maybe there was a power outage or something. Maybe the phone line was cut by accident. Maybe there was a logical explanation for everything. We decided to wait for our food and hope that everything would be fine. We sat on the sofa again, holding hands. That's when we heard it. A voice in our ears. Hello. It sounded like a man's voice, deep and sinister. We screamed and jumped from the sofa. We looked around frantically. There was no one in the room but us. Where did that voice come from? How did it get into our ears? What did it want? Hello? The voice repeated itself, louder and closer. It sounded like it was coming from inside our heads. We felt a sharp pain in our temples. We clutched our heads and fell to the floor. Who are you? We shouted in unison, hoping for an answer. There was silence for a few seconds. Then another voice. We're here. It sounded like a woman's voice, high-pitched and cruel. We felt another pain in our chests. We gasped for air and clutched our hearts. What do you want? We cried out in unison, begging for mercy. There was silence for a few more seconds. Then, both voices together. "We want you." We felt a final pain in our throats. We choked on our own blood and collapsed on the floor. My family and I had been planning a trip to Las Vegas for months. We wanted to see the city of lights and entertainment, and we thought it would be a fun and relaxing vacation. We booked a family suite online, packed our bags, and boarded a flight to Sin City. We arrived in the morning, and as soon as we stepped out of the airport, we were excited by the sight of neon signs, skyscrapers, and fountains. We rented a car and drove to our hotel. It was a famous hotel that had been featured in many movies and shows. It looked glamorous and luxurious, with a huge lobby, a casino, a spa, and a pool. We checked in at the reception, where a cheerful clerk handed us a key card and told us our room number. He also gave us some brochures and coupons for various attractions and shows. We took the elevator to the 15th floor, where our suite was located. The suite was enormous and gorgeous, with 2 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and a balcony. The bedrooms had comfortable beds and TVs. The living room had a sofa, a fireplace, and a big screen TV. The kitchen had a fridge, a microwave, and a coffee maker. The balcony had a breathtaking view of the city. We were thrilled with our suite and thanked each other for choosing this hotel. We unpacked our bags and put them in the closets. We decided to have some breakfast and explore the hotel. We called the reception and asked for some pancakes and bacon. They said they would deliver it in 10 minutes. We waited for our food, chatting and smiling. We were having a wonderful time. That's when we heard it. A scream from the next room. We looked at each other, alarmed. What was that? Who was screaming? We got up from the sofa and walked to the door that connected our suite with the next room. We knocked on the door and asked if everything was okay. There was no answer. We knocked again and called out louder. There was still no answer. We tried to open the door, but it was locked. We were getting worried and scared. What was going on? Was someone hurt? We decided to call the reception and report the noise. We picked up the phone and dialed the number. There was no ringtone. The phone was dead. We felt a surge of fear. What was happening? Was this some kind of prank? We tried to calm ourselves down and rationalize the situation. Maybe there was a problem with the phone line or something. Maybe the scream was just from someone watching a horror movie or something. Maybe there was nothing to worry about. We decided to wait for our food and hope that everything would be fine. We sat on the sofa again, holding each other. That's when we heard it. A laugh from the next room. It sounded like a child's laugh, high-pitched and sinister. We froze in terror. Who was laughing? What was so funny? We got up from the sofa again and walked to the door that connected our suite with the next room. We banged on the door and demanded an explanation. There was no response. We banged harder and shouted louder. There was still no response. We tried to kick down the door, but it was too strong. We were getting furious and terrified. Who was doing this and why? We decided to go to the reception and complain about the noise. We grabbed our key card and walked to the main door of our suite. We tried to open it, but it was locked. We felt a shock of panic. What was going on? How did this happen? We tried to unlock it with our key card, but it didn't work. We tried to break it down, but it didn't budge. We were trapped in our suite. We screamed for help, but no one heard us. That's when we heard it. A voice in our ears. Hello. It sounded like an old man's voice, raspy and evil. We screamed louder and looked around frantically. There was no one in the suite but us. Where did that voice come from? How did it get into our ears? What did it want? Hello. The voice repeated itself, louder and closer. It sounded like it was coming from inside our heads. We felt a sharp pain in our brains. We clutched our heads and fell to the floor. Who are you? We asked in unison, hoping for an answer. There was silence for a few seconds. Then another laugh. We're here. It sounded like several voices together, male and female, young and old, laughing maniacally. We felt another pain in our bodies. We spasmed uncontrollably and convulsed on the floor. What do you want? We cried out in unison, begging for mercy. There was silence for a few more seconds. Then, all the voices together. We want you. We felt a final pain in our souls. We blacked out and died on the floor,